Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. First question this week comes from Gul. Hi Gul. Gul says, hi Alicia, what is the correct pronunciation of S and TH sounds when they come one after another, especially when we talk fast? For example, it's 3 p.m. Here is the thing. Is that possible? He is thin. Could you please pronounce these sentences? Sure, yeah, this is a tough one. So when we're speaking quickly, we make the S sound as short as possible. Sometimes it's just a S and we drop the it sound, like in its. Sometimes it turns into a Z sound. So I'll say these sentences at regular pace. It's 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. He's thin. He's thin. He's thin. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is that possible? Is that possible? Is that possible? So we're not pronouncing all the sounds clearly in that last example. Is that possible becomes, is that possible? Is that possible? It's like a Z sound. Everything gets combined there. So in the first example sentence, it's a quick, soft S sound. It's 3 p.m. We're not exaggerating the TH sound so much there. It's like the TH sound happens, but the tongue doesn't come out between our teeth. He's thin, he's thin, he's thin. So I hope that helps you. Next question. Next question comes from Maxim Romanovich. Hi, Maxim. Maxim says, hi, Alicia. Nice day, isn't it? Indeed. About 2 weeks ago, I started learning English by watching serials without translation in my own language. Is it normal that recently I started to notice I could talk in English to myself about a half an hour? Am I getting crazy with English? Thanks for sending this. No, that's awesome. I think that's really cool. Sometimes you guys do send your comments like, oh wow, I can understand things now, or I can use English more than I could before. So I don't think that's weird at all. I think that's great. I think that's just proof, that's evidence that your dedication and your studies are paying off. In other words, you're making progress. So I think that's great. So thanks very much for sharing this comment and good luck in your continued studies. It sounds like you're enjoying yourself. That's awesome. Great. Thanks very much for sending this. Let's go on to the next question. Next question comes from Sumaya Abdullah. Hi Sumaya. Sumaya says, hi, I have a question. What is the difference between portal and gate? Oh, interesting question. Okay. Portal. Portal is something used in like science fiction stories. We use portal in science fiction stories, and you might sometimes see this on the internet as like a hub, a web hub for something. But portal is used to refer to like a gate between dimensions. It's like a special kind of like dimensional gate. So portal is not commonly used in everyday speech. Maybe some of you have played the game Portal. That was a really popular game where you had a gun and you could shoot the gun like on a wall and a portal would open here. You could shoot another portal on another wall and walk through it. So it's like some kind of dimensional like sci-fi word. Gate, however, is the much more commonly used word. We use gate to talk about this like entrance to a house or to someone's yard or to a garden, for example. So a gate is much more common. We see them in our neighborhoods, in our cities all the time. So typically, in most situations, I think gate is the better word. Portal is like a science fiction kind of gate. It's usually like the image is like a circle. Gate is like something that swings open, something like this perhaps. So I hope that helps you. Interesting question. Thanks very much. Next question comes from Wang Fang Chen. Hi Wang Fang. Wang Fang says, hey Alicia, could you please clarify the phrase, we got you back? I came across this expression on my email from my bank. It said, we've got you back on fraud. I want you to check. Does your email say, we've got your back or we got you back? These are very different expressions, so I'll explain. First, the expression we have got your back means we support you. We've got your back. Imagine like a friend watches your back. A friend is behind you watching your back, the back side of your body, like to protect you, to make sure nothing bad happens to you. So when someone is watching your back, to say, I've got your back, something like that means I support you. I'm looking out for you. I'm trying to protect you. However, we got you back. We got you back means we got revenge on you for something. You did something bad in the past and someone got you back. Means they got revenge on you. Someone took revenge for something bad in the past. So we've got your back and we got you back are very, very different expressions. I think your bank is probably saying we've got your back in regard to fraud. In other words, the bank is trying to protect you. If you want to use this expression in everyday life, like a friend is going to do something difficult or dangerous, you can say, I've got your back. Sometimes we also make it more casual. We drop have there and say, I got your back, meaning I support you, I'm looking out for you. So interesting question. Thanks very much for asking. Let's go on to the next question. Next question comes from Ranald Royce. Hi, Ranald. Ranald says, 1, how to study new words and remember them. 2, how to speak in an American accent. Number 1, how to study words and remember them. To study words and remember them, you could try using a vocabulary flashcard tool like Anki. Anki is a great flashcard tool. It's a computer-based tool, so that's great for flashcards. I think you can download sets of flashcards to help you study vocabulary words and expressions. Other things you can do once you practice those words, make sure you use them. So use the words, write with the words, speak with the words. So don't just input, but create using those new words. 2, how to speak with an American accent. Practice speaking with an American accent. That's what I did when I was growing up, and that's what speakers all over the world do to gain their accents. They practice speaking using that accent. So if you want to speak with an American accent, I would say practice speaking with an American accent. I have an American accent, so if you want to practice speaking, you can try to practice speaking like me. If you want to get some ideas about American accents, you can check the English Topics series on this channel, where you can see Michael, Davey, and of course me talking in English, but in a more casual setting. So you can get an idea of how our accents sound in everyday conversation. So if you want to see what an American accent sounds like and use that as a way to practice your speech, you can check that out for sure. Those are all the questions that I have for this week. Thank you, as always, for sending your questions. Remember to send them to me at englishclass101.com/ask-Alicia. Thanks very much for watching this week's episode of Ask Alicia, and I will see you again next week. Bye!
Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to talk about 10 different ways to remember words. So these are actually some ways to remember words that you have sent in to us. So I'm really excited to see what your recommendations are. I study other languages, so let's talk about it. Let's see. I associate new words with words that sound similar in my native language. If you're studying English, your native language might share some words. So like I'm studying Japanese, and for example, the word chocolate sounds very, very similar in Japanese. So in English, the word is chocolate. In Japanese, the word is chocoreto. So it sounds similar. So that's an easy word for me to remember. I learn about the roots of words and how different words are related to each other. Many words in English have roots in very, very old languages like Latin. So a word like omniscient, for example, can be broken down into maybe 2 parts. The omni meaning all or everything, and scient, the scient part, relates to knowledge or knowing. So together the word means all-knowing, omniscient. Maybe you can guess the meaning even if it's the first time you've seen the word. Okay. I listen to songs and memorize the lyrics. This is also a common way to help kids learn things too, through songs. Opposite of b plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. It's a quadratic function equation. Because it's a song, it's still in my head. Thank you, Mrs. Syme. I often watch TV or YouTube videos that are designed for young children. That's how children in the native language learn, so it's a great tool for you. Don't be embarrassed to do that. I do that. In English, we have Dora the Explorer, we have Sesame Street. I speak as often as possible with native speakers. A native speaker can go, that's a strange thing that you're saying. So there are a lot of small factors that you can't get unless you're speaking with a native speaker. So this is a really, really great tip. If you're interested in doing this with us, we have on EnglishClass101.com a special subscription, which is called the elite level of subscription, where you get to actually study with one of our teachers here. So if you don't have somebody that you can study with now, that might be a way to do it. Please check that out if you're interested. I try to use the language routinely in the context of daily life. When you're alone, just doing stuff at home, like making breakfast or cooking or doing the laundry, if you use the language just to say like, now I'm going to, I don't know, cut vegetables, or oh, I need to do laundry later today, or thinking about your appointment, whatever. Another good example is really, I put my phone into my target language. You're telling little stories when you're having conversations with people, so get used to telling yourself the story. I use repetition, reading, writing, and speaking words over and over again. Keep repeating in your studies, even if it feels like you're not making any progress. You are. Just the act of doing that repetition can be helpful for you. If a football player never throws a football, he's not going to be able to throw it very well, is he? You have to repeat, 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 and then when you're faced with the actual situation where you need to throw the football, you need to use that vocabulary word, you're ready. You already know how to say the word. So yes, repeat. It's good. I try to think in English, so it becomes natural to my thought process. I do this. I think about what I need to do. I think about what I have done. I think about what I'm going to do. And so in that way, you can practice past tense, future tense, and present tense. Recently, this has been happening to me. I've started dreaming in Japanese from time to time, or I dream bilingually. It's exciting, I think. I try to use the word in a simple sentence, so I learn whole phrases, not just individual words. Yes, this is a huge tip. So vocabulary is important, of course. If you don't know a key word, you might miss the meaning of something, but context is important too. So there might be two words which seem very similar, like big and large, for example, but when should I use large? When should I use big? Like if you're clothes shopping and you say, do you have this in a big size? It might not be the correct way to use the word. Instead, do you have this in a large size is the correct phrase. So learning how to use the correct vocabulary word at the correct time is important, and you can do that through studying sentences and phrases instead of just vocabulary. This is why reading is important, I feel. Reading as much as possible, especially the newspaper, helps me to remember words. When I was a kid, I just read everything. I was so into reading, I loved it, and I think that it actually helped my language skills improve, even in my native language. Again, at first it's really hard to do, and you might have to use a dictionary a lot, but you'll learn gradually more natural speaking patterns, more natural writing patterns too, which will help you to sound more natural when you speak, and maybe it can help your listening skills too, when you can listen for those patterns that you see in textbooks, that you see in newspapers, in novels, whatever. It's a great tool, reading. And thank goodness, that's the end. So those are 10 tips that you can use to remember new words and new phrases. Try them out. I'm going to be doing my best with my target language. I hope that you do too. Thank you very much for watching. Please, please, please subscribe to our channel if you have not already, and we will see you again soon for more exciting information. Bye. I have to go to the bathroom really bad. Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 favorite English words. We asked our fans on Facebook what their favorite English words were, and these are the top 10 that came out, so let's talk about them. Come on. The first word, the first phrase is come on. Come on is a phrase that's used to encourage other people, like let's go to the party, come on. Or you can also use it with downward intonation, as in come on, when you feel upset about something. Someone has stopped in front of you in the middle of the street and you're trying to walk, but they just don't move. You can say, come on. Though, don't say that out loud maybe, because they might get upset with you. Come on over, baby. That's a good one. Yeah, come on over to my house, or come on over to the barbecue this weekend. It's going to be a good time. So you can use it as part of a separate phrase as well, not just by itself. Believe. The next word is believe. Believe is used, a verb, it's a verb, when you trust in something, or that you feel that you know that something exists or something is possible or something is capable. Many people use it as in like, I believe in you, to show that they think that the other person or the other group of people is capable of doing something. Or people use it for their faith as well, like I believe in God or I don't believe in God. For something that you have your faith in, and another person, or in religion, whatever that might be. Consistency. Consistency is a noun. The consistency of a liquid can be really thick or kind of thin. Or you can also use consistency to talk about something that's important that you need when you're studying a language, for example. Consistency. So consistency refers to doing the same thing the same way over and over and over again. Studying every day, or making a habit out of studying, creating consistency in your study patterns will really help you in learning another language. Watch our videos every week. We're consistent. Friend. Friend, that's good. I'm glad that that was a word that was chosen from the Facebook thing. Friend, yeah, so someone that you feel close to or someone that you get along really well with is your friend. In a sentence, I went out drinking with my friends yesterday and that was a bad idea. Friend also can be used for the people who follow you or the people who you're connected to on social media. So your Facebook friends, maybe Twitter, you can have Twitter friends. Maybe Instagram friends, people that you haven't actually met, but that you somehow have a connection with online. People are now calling them your friends. But whether or not they're true friends remains to be seen. What is a true friend? A true friend is someone who you can tell all your things to and they won't judge you for it. Gate crash. This. Gate crash means to go to an event without having been invited to the event. I've also heard just crash. I haven't heard it with gate, but I just heard crash, as in to crash a party. So in a sentence, I once crashed a house party. I wasn't invited, but somehow we had a connection and we just showed up and had a good time. But usually gate crashes are perceived as, they're very unwelcome. Like you shouldn't be there. Great. Great is just a positive word. How are you? I'm great. Oh, how was that movie? It was great. Anytime that you want to express some sort of positivity, you can use the word great. Great! You're great, Eileen. Pizza is pretty great. I haven't eaten pizza in a while. Pizza. I don't know. I love the phrase, I don't know. I talked about this phrase in one of the English topics videos that we did with Michael. Check that out if you haven't already. I don't know, of course, is used when you do not know information. You don't know the answer. Your teacher asks you a question in math class or something, and you can say, I don't know, for I have no ideas. So you can use it in this way, but I like to use I don't know a lot to transition in my speech. When I don't have a good idea or when I'm out of things to say and I want to kind of pass the conversation to the next person, I go, I don't know, I don't know. You can use this when you're trying to make a decision, for example, and you kind of want to encourage the other person to like help make the decision. So one person might say, what do you want to do? And you can say, I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? And eventually somebody has to make the decision, but you can kind of pass back and forth with, I don't know, in this sort of soft way. Never mind. Yeah, never mind means don't worry about it. Or maybe like, stop thinking about that. I don't need to think about that anymore. Never mind, like you want to move on in the conversation, you can say never mind, or you make an embarrassing comment, never mind. What is happening? There's like a creaky cracky thing happening. Never mind. Oh, I just used it, never mind. No, it wasn't on purpose. So I just used never mind, that was pretty good. Passion. Passion refers to something that you feel very strongly about, positively usually. So you can feel passion for your studies, you can feel passion for your hobby, you can feel passion for your family or your friend. I think we use passion more so to talk about like a love relationship, a romantic relationship. So you can say, I have passion for my wife, I have passion for my husband, or like I have passion for this hobby that I do. It's a really positive word. So in a sentence, let's see. I think a relationship should be full of passion. I have passion for music. I do. I have passion for music. I'm constantly listening to music. From the moment I wake up in the morning, I literally have headphones in my bed and I'm listening to the latest new things on my SoundCloud stream. That's true. Sparkler. Why did you guys pick sparkler? Sparkler. A sparkler is a small firework, like a handheld firework that you can use like at 4th of July. You light one end of it and it kind of goes psst. It makes that sound too. It goes psst, and it kind of burns, and you can write stuff, and if you take a picture with a long timer on the camera or whatever, you can spell out boobs. One of my favorite things to do on the 4th of July in America is to light sparklers with my family and friends. end. That's the end. So those were, let's see, how many? 10. Those were 10 really cool words that you guys chose from Facebook. Thanks a lot for participating and sending in those words. It's interesting to see what you guys chose. Thanks again for watching today, and we will see you again next time. Bye. We're stirring the pot here at EnglishClass101.com.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
The only thing I want for Christmas this year is to chill. Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. Thanks very much as always for submitting your questions. Remember, you can submit your questions to me at EnglishClass101.com/ask-Alicia. First question comes from Carla. Hi Carla. Carla asks, how do native speakers use to have? I have seen, I have got. Formal and informal. Sure, we use the verb to have for a lot of different meanings. There's a grammatical function for the verb have when we pair it with the past participle form of a verb, like I have plus past participle to make the present perfect tense, or I had plus past participle to make the past perfect tense. So there's that kind of grammatical function of the verb have. However, if you just want to use the verb have in everyday situations, like I have a phone, or I have a camera, or I don't have any money, for example, then to have in that case just means to own something or to hold something, to be keeping something. So please consider the sentence that you're looking at with the verb have in it. If it comes before a verb in the past participle, it's probably a past perfect or a present perfect expression. If you're seeing something after the verb have, like an object, in my examples, like a phone or a camera or money, then it's probably referring to owning something or keeping something. So those are probably two of the most common ways that you'll see the verb have and its variations in at least American English speech. Next question. The next person asked two questions. So the next two questions are from Essa Warsiadi. Warsiadi. I'm very sorry. Question 1 from Essa. Can you explain through, thorough, though, and thought? They sound similar. Yes, indeed, they do sound similar, and they even look similar in writing, for sure. However, these words have different meanings and different functions in speech and in writing. Let's look at through to begin with, though. Through means to pass into something and to come out the other side of something. So, for example, to go through a tunnel, or if you're looking at a document, for example, to go through a document means to read through, read all of the content of the document from beginning to end. So, through something is to begin at something and pass through all of the content, to pass through everything and come out the other side, or to complete something. So we also use the word through to mean finished in American English, like are you through with dinner, or I'm through with my homework. So through, those are a couple of different ways we use the word through. The second word, thorough. So different from through. Thorough means comprehensive. Thorough means completely. Thorough means well done. It has typically a positive meaning. So, for example, she was very thorough in her explanation of the word through, or she was very thorough in her explanation of the word thorough. She was very thorough in her presentation, meaning she gave a lot of information in her presentation. Thorough means well done, containing a lot of knowledge, a lot of information in something. Thorough. So please be thorough in completing your homework, or he wasn't very thorough in cleaning his room. So thorough means well done, completely done, finished. So considering everything, considering all points of something, even the small details, is considered thorough. So we can use thorough for presentations, for activities that require small details, a thorough safety check, for example. So these are actions that are done completely, fully, to the small details. So that's thorough. Next word here is though. Though, you can think of though in the same way you think of the word but. So it's used to contrast information. It's used to express a difference in something. So you could follow someone's opinion with an expression like though. So for example, I think summer is the best season, though winter is pretty fun too. So you can think of though in the same way as you think of but. A, though, B. So you're presenting A and then a contrasting opinion B, and you're connecting those two ideas with though in the same way you would
but. So though, although is similar. We use although and though and but in similar ways. What's the difference? But is much more casual, and but is used much more in casual conversation, in everyday conversation. If you're writing a document, a formal document, or if you're making a formal statement, you could use though in place of but. So though shows contrasting information. The last one on this list is thought. Thought is the past tense of think when used as a verb. So I thought you were coming today, or I thought it was going to rain later, or I thought this was such a great afternoon. Thought is used as the past tense of think. We can also use thought to refer to an idea as a noun. So I had a thought, for example, or do you have any thoughts about this project? So we can use thought as a verb, past tense of think, or as a noun to refer to an idea. So again, that's through, thorough, though, and thought. Some of you might be wondering, how do I remember which is which when I'm reading or when I'm listening? You have to pay attention to the grammar of the sentence. They all have different grammatical functions. So you need to think about the grammar surrounding the word too. On to question 2 from Issa. What does love to hate mean, and when can I use it? Love to hate means it's something that you really dislike, but it's sort of enjoyable to dislike. So for example, this is an expression we can apply to reality TV. So many people think reality TV is not very good entertainment, or it's not very high quality entertainment. However, it's really fun to watch. So maybe, for example, you just hate a character on a reality TV show, but somehow you enjoy watching that TV show too. So something that you feel very strong dislike for, and yet you really enjoy it at the same time. That's something you can love to hate. You love to hate that thing. Next question. Next question comes from Bowie Dente. Bowie Dente. Very sorry. Bowie Dente asks, when can I use ever in a present perfect sentence? Like, I have ever. Ever means at any time or at all times. You can use ever when you're asking a question, like, have you ever, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever been to France? Have you ever eaten ramen? Have you ever taken a trip to the mountains? For example. We can use ever when making questions. That's one. But because ever means at all time or at any times, we may not use it to answer a question like that. Have you ever, blah, blah, blah. We usually say yes or no in response to that. We can say, I have never ever taken a trip to France, or I have never ever forgotten my keys, for example. I have never ever blah blah blah. But in that case, it still means never. An expression like never ever just emphasizes the word never. So to use ever, we need to pair ever with a verb in a sentence. So we can't say I have ever, just I have plus a verb. We cannot say I have ever. That's incorrect. I have at any time or at all times. It's redundant. It's not necessary. We can, however, use ever in a negative expression, like I haven't ever been to France, or she hasn't ever eaten cheese, for example. So we have to pair ever with a negative to make a response. We use ever for present perfect tense questions, and paired with a negative, have or has, to make a response, to make a negative response. So please keep those two in mind. Next question. Next question comes from Bahar. Hey Bahar, nice to see you again. Bahar's question is, what does dash mean, and when can we use it? Okay, so the word dash as a verb means to run very quickly for a short period of time. So for example, I dashed to the station to catch my train, or I dashed to the classroom for my test. He dashed off to the flower store to buy a bouquet for his mother, for example. So these are very short periods of time and very high speed. That's to dash. However, we can use dash as a noun in a way that does not refer to running. We can use it in writing as well. Sometimes we use the word dash to refer to these lines we see in writing. You might see hyphens, N dashes and M dashes. These all have different functions in writing. Hyphens may be used to connect words, N dashes can be used to show periods of time, and M dashes can kind of show extra information in a sentence. So we call all of these dashes. This is kind of the category that we assign to each of these. So there's the verb to dash, and there's also dash as a noun, which means all of these sorts of things. So thanks for that question, Bahar. Next
question. Next question comes from Ricardo Villarroel. Hey Ricardo, welcome back. Ricardo's question is, what's the difference between several, sundry, and various? Okay, I'm not quite sure how sundry fits in here. Several means a few of something. So think of several as higher than a couple or a few, but it's not quite at many yet. So maybe as a good hint, the word several sounds a bit similar to seven. Maybe it doesn't necessarily mean exactly seven of something, but it's a bit higher than a few, and it's not quite at the level of many or a lot of. The next word you asked about, sundry. Sundry is something we use for household items, like everyday small household items. We usually use that in the plural form, like shops which sell sundries. So this is quite different from the words several and various. So sundry is usually used in the plural form, and it refers to everyday items in your house. The last word you asked about, various. We use various to describe a miscellany of things. We use it before a noun typically. For example, various ideas or various people or various subjects, various topics. So various is used to describe many different types of something. Several refers to quantity. Various is just used to indicate that there are different types or different kinds of the noun that follows it. So as I said, various ideas, various flavors, various people, meaning different types of ideas, different types of people, different types of flavors. So several, quantity, various types. Next question. Next question comes from Arnett Jake Nuguid. I'm very sorry. How do we use well before someone starts speaking and though after they speak? Well is kind of used as a soft way to begin speaking. Well, it kind of shows that you were listening to the other person. So it shows you listened to the other person and you are responding to them. Well, if that's the case, it kind of has that nuance. Well, it sort of shows you were listening and you are going to respond based on that information. Remember, though is used to show contrast. So if someone presents you with an idea or gives you an opinion and you want to show contrast to that formally, you can begin with though. So if, for example, you're in a formal situation, a business situation, for example, and someone says, I think we should continue with the idea we proposed last summer for this project. You might counter the opinion or you might oppose the opinion by beginning your statement with though. So you could say, though that's going to cost a lot of money to implement. So though shows contrast in a formal and polite way. Next question. Next question comes from Michael King. Hi, Michael. Michael asks, I want to study at home, self-study. What should I do? Yeah, okay, I have self-studied and it can be tough to do, but you have the internet. Congratulations. So what can you do? There are a lot of things. Number one, define your goal. What is it you hope to achieve? What are you looking to do through your studies? Don't just say, I want to learn English. That's not a very specific goal. Give yourself a specific goal to achieve. Like, I want to pass this level of a test, or I want to be able to do this thing in my life. I want to be able to give a business presentation in English. Number two, look for resources that are going to help you achieve that goal. If you need to work on your speaking, you need to find ways to practice your speaking. If you're looking for something to help you with your reading or your writing, for example, look for tools that do that. If you want to read, look for blogs, look for websites that have the content in your target language that you want to know more about. So start reading things and trying to pick up the vocabulary through studying those things in your target language. There are tons of resources out there, but you need to define your goal first and then start looking for the resources that match your goal. 3, maybe the most difficult one for a lot of us, is to practice every day. Find some way to make language practice part of your everyday routine. In my case, for example, I found that it was really helpful for me to take 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening during my commute on the subway to study vocabulary, and that helped me improve little by little, day by day. So it was a total of 30 minutes, but it added up over time. And through practicing every day, you'll find that the resources you're using will become easier to understand. Number 4, where possible, try to create an immersion environment. If you're not in a situation where you're actually living in the country or you can go to the country where they speak the language you're studying,
try to create some kind of immersion environment for yourself where you can't escape into your native language. Just as much as possible, try to create some sort of immersion environment so that you get used to hearing those sounds and kind of the natural responses that people have to those sounds too. Number 5, I think one more really good tip for studying at home is asking questions. So there are other people who are learning your language and other people who are trying to study. We see it a lot on this channel too, and you guys are fantastic about helping your fellow classmates. When you have a question and you can't find the answer for it, ask someone. Don't let yourself get stuck. Also, think about the resources you already have. If it's a question about vocabulary, you can check a dictionary. If you want to deepen your vocabulary, you can check a thesaurus. If you have a specific question about how an expression is used, try asking a native speaker, try posting on a message board, try posting in the comments, try posting on our website. So if you have a question, reach out and ask. Chances are, if you have the question, it's going to help somebody else to ask the question and get the answer. If you have a question, ask. Good luck with your self-study. Next question. Next question is from Harley Passos. Hey Harley, welcome back. What does uncountable mean? This refers to a group of nouns that we do not count with numbers alone. So for example, bread is uncountable. Instead, we use a counter word between the number and the uncountable noun. So in my bread example, we use one loaf of bread, one slice of bread. There are different words we use to count the individual pieces or the individual units of the uncountable noun. Uncountable nouns means nouns which we cannot count with just a simple number before the noun. We need to use an additional counter word. Next question. Next question comes from Taylor. Hi again, Taylor. What's the difference between look into my eyes and look me in the eye? I would say that we use look into my eyes in more romantic situations. Or you might hear this in like movies. Maybe there's something magical that's happening and I don't know, a witch is casting a spell and she says, look into my eyes. Look me in the eye is typically used in a more aggressive situation. It's used in an expression like look me in the eye and say that. Look me in the eye tends to be a more aggressive statement. Look into my eyes sounds more romantic or mysterious. Next question from Yonhee? I'm sorry. What's the difference between I like to take naps and I like to take a nap? Or I like to go for walks and I like to go for a walk. So when you're speaking generally, especially in a sentence like I like to, you need to use the plural form of the noun. You can't use the singular form of the noun because you're talking generally about all cases of that noun or all cases of that action. You're talking about a regular activity you like to do, something you have done more than one time, something you are going to do repeatedly, presumably, into the future. So you need to use the plural form. Next question. Next question is from Suha. How do we write a good paragraph? Number 1, you need to think about the position of your paragraph in your overall document. Let's think about writing a document in terms of 3 parts: an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. In the introduction section, you need to introduce the key information your reader needs to know what they're going to read about later in your document. So if your paragraph is in the introduction, you need to think about how to introduce your information there. Second, the body section of your document should be where you include your evidence, your supporting materials, your opinions, any references that you have. So if your paragraph falls in the body of the document, you should have these themes in mind. If your paragraph is in the conclusion of your document, at the end, you should be concluding or finishing your ideas. It's typically a good idea to summarize the ideas you presented in the body and the introduction of your document in the concluding section. 2, use transitions. When you're writing, it's good to transition from one sentence to another and to use good transitions between paragraphs themselves. So some example transitions could be first, second, third, or next, then, finally, after that, moreover, additionally, furthermore. So transitions help the reader connect the ideas that you're presenting in your writing. 3, avoid trying to include too much information in one sentence.
Remember, you need to try to present your ideas as clearly and accurately as possible. So if you find you're just writing and writing and writing and the sentence is becoming extremely long, take a moment and look at the goal of this sentence. What are you actually trying to communicate? If you need to, break it into smaller sentences and connect them with transitions. Next question. Next question comes from Luan Garcia. Hi, Luan. Luan asks, I would like to know how to use down, up, off, in, on, and out after a verb and why it's necessary. Oh dear. Luan, this is a very big question. Your question is about phrasal verbs. These are all called phrasal verbs. Verb plus adverb or preposition. There are an enormous amount of phrasal verbs. I cannot possibly talk about all of them in one video. Phrasal verbs are necessary because they are part of speech. They are simply a type of verb. They are a type of expression. So you need to know them because they will help you to communicate effectively. So if you want to know more about specific phrasal verbs, I would suggest checking a dictionary. Okay, thanks very much for submitting your questions again this week. Great questions as always. Thank you so much. You guys make me think really hard. Remember, if you'd like to submit a question, please send them to me at englishclass101.com/ask-Alicia. All right, so thanks very much for watching this episode of Ask Alicia, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye. This is not a traditional Christmas outfit by any means. I kind of look like a cleric from the movie Equilibrium. Have you guys seen that movie with Christian Bale and Sean Bean? You know that movie where they don't have any feelings and they fight? This video is over. Bye!
Today we're going to talk about 4 techniques to help you stop translating in your head and instead start thinking in your target language. This will allow you to have conversations with ease, read smoothly, and better understand native speakers. These are 4 methods to help you think in a new language. Number 1, surround yourself with your target language. This way, you'll be completely immersed in the language. Without realizing it, you'll learn pronunciation, sentence structures, grammar, and new vocabulary. Play music in the background while you're cooking, or have a radio station on while you study. Just use one of our endless podcasts available to you. These are easy to listen to in the background while doing other things. Number 2, learn through observation. This is how we all learned our native languages as kids. Words will develop their own meanings that relate better to your target language, rather than meanings that are translated directly. Number 3, speak out loud to yourself. Even if you're a little embarrassed, it forces you to listen to how you speak. It makes it much easier to spot simple grammar mistakes. Number 4, practice daily. If you practice everything for only one day, you won't retain the information you learned. The brain can realistically only focus for about 30 minutes. So studying a little every day allows you to absorb better. Follow these steps and have patience. You'll soon be able to achieve your language learning goals. Just make sure to remember these 4 methods. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start learning more every day.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at englishclass101.com.
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the dialogue study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about 10 of the hardest words to pronounce according to you guys. So we collected some information from you on Facebook. Thanks very much for sending in your ideas. And these were the top 10 most difficult words for you to pronounce. So let's get started. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely might be tough to pronounce. Absolutely means 100%. Absolutely is an agreement phrase. Are you going to that music event next week? Absolutely. Yes, 100%, definitely. Absolutely. Lute, like a lute. L-U-T-E. Begrime. Begrime apparently means dirty. I have never heard nor used this word before, but perhaps it's difficult to pronounce. Begrime. The door to my apartment was begrimed in the storm last week. Breakfast. The next word is breakfast. Breakfast is hard to pronounce, but that is the meaning of breakfast. You're breaking the fast. So a fast is a period of time without eating, and to break means well, in this case, breaking something. It doesn't refer to like crushing a thing, but stopping something. To break the fast of the night, in other words. So you're fasting during the night, you're not eating, so you wake up in the morning, you break the fast. But we don't say break fast, we say breakfast. In a sentence, this morning for breakfast, I ate a bowl of cereal with grapes, and I had a coffee too. Colleague. Colleague, yes, colleague. Many of my students struggle with this. They say colleague, or they say colleague or something, because the spelling of this word is really, really strange. There's that G-U-E at the end. Or more commonly, I feel, it's just coworker. Colleague sounds slightly more formal to me than coworker. Somebody who you work with, or somebody who you have a business relationship with in some sense. Could be a person from another company, could be somebody from your own company. Anyone who you do business dealings with is your colleague, can be your colleague. In a sentence, I'm going to a networking event with my colleagues next week. Miscellaneous. that M-I-S-C, miscellaneous. It's the spelling, I think, maybe is confusing for this word, miscellaneous. Miscellaneous just means other stuff or just other uncategorized stuff. I keep a lot of miscellaneous items in a drawer in my house. Maybe they don't really fit into one category, like it's not kitchen things, it's not clothing. It's just sort of a mixture of things, miscellaneous things. Negotiation. The next word is negotiation. Negotiation. Yeah, there are two T's in this, but neither T is a hard T. They're both very soft, that sh sound, because they're followed by the I and another vowel, the she. A negotiation. Negotiation refers to a compromise between two people. You're trying to make a decision and you negotiate. In this case, this is the noun form, negotiation. Business negotiations continued for more than a month with this important deal. Realm. Realm, I see why this one's hard. It's that realm part, the realm. It's a weird word, isn't it? It's used to talk about just like the kind of a fantasy world is sort of the nuance of this phrase, the realm. In a sentence, let us go to the realm where the elves live and eat their bread. Unfortunately. The next word is unfortunately. 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 It just means too bad. You can use this to start bad news, for example, like unfortunately I can't come to work today because I'm sick, or unfortunately I broke my arm at the basketball game last week, or unfortunately my haircut is bad. Vocabulary. 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 Vocabulary just refers to the words in a language. My vocabulary in my second language is really, really low. I need a bigger vocabulary so that I can express myself more clearly. World. World. Ah, I see why this one's hard. World, world, hard to pronounce. That RLD, I think, together is tough. Plus that W at the beginning as well. It's such a short word, but you have to say so many weird things at the same time. World. Your tongue is going like this. In a sentence, I have traveled all over the world, and the best food is in my stomach. That's the end. So those were 10 hard to pronounce words. Give them a try slowly at first and just kind of try to work up to saying it at a more natural speed, if you like. Thank you so much for sharing your opinions with us on Facebook. And please make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of this fun information. So thanks again for watching today, and we'll see you again next time. Bye! You don't need new shoes, you need new feet. Too much information. Okay. Hi everybody and welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia and today we're going to be talking about your top 10 language learning goals for the year. Sounds good, right? Let's go. I'll finish the Survival Phrases series on EnglishClass101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. The first goal is I'll finish the Survival Phrases series on EnglishClass101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. Wow, that sounds like a good goal. 2 lessons a day, that doesn't sound too bad, I suppose, having never listened to one of these because I speak English already. but I mean, if it's only like 2 or 3 minutes, you could do that like 1 in the morning and 1 in the night. I'll finish reading 1 English book by reading 10 pages a day. I'll finish reading 1 English book by reading 10 pages a day. Oh, that's a really good goal, actually. Actually, I have this goal for myself for Japanese, and I'm doing a terrible job of it. Because I picked a book that was too hard. So I guess if you want to do this, you should pick a book that's just a little challenging for you. I think that's the best thing to do, something just tough, so you learn while you read. I'll pass my English test. The next goal is I'll pass my English test. Pass my English test. So hopefully all of you will pass any English tests that you have coming up or get the score that you want on your English certification exams. Again, I think it's just an everyday thing. Like studying every day, making it a habit is the best. I'll memorize 5 English songs. Ooh, oh, the next one, I used this technique when I started learning Japanese, actually. This goal is I'll memorize 5 English songs. Songs were great because like the melody helps the words stick in your head. But it does make things a little bit weird because you might end up using like an intonation pattern or a speaking pattern that's not so natural. But you can at least kind of remember phrases or remember how words are supposed to fit together, even if it's not necessarily grammatical. you know, you might still be able to use it. Actually, this is a surprisingly easy one. If you just take time, listen to the songs, and repeat after the singer, the same way that you would for a song in your native language, this one's a pretty fast goal, I think. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on EnglishClass101.com. The next goal is I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on EnglishClass101.com. 350 words with flashcards. I wonder how long that would take. 350 words. If you learn, I don't know, 350 words. I feel like you could do that in like a couple months. Pretty easy. If you're ambitious, a couple weeks. That's a good one. I'll write 10 postcards in English to my English-speaking friends. The next goal is I'll write 10 postcards in English to my English-speaking friends. That's sort of cute. Actually, I would be sort of happy to get a postcard from a friend. Like, you don't get postcards these days, and like a handwritten one from someone who's studying like English, that'd be really cute. I'd like this. Hey, all my friends watching this video. Will you send me a postcard? Okay. I'll send you one in my really bad Japanese. You can make fun of how my handwriting looks like an elementary school student. I'll learn how to talk about past, present, and future events. So the next goal is I'll learn how to talk about past, present, and future events. This should really already be a goal. This is pretty much what language is. Like, language is a tool to talk about past, present, and future events, and potential events as well. If you're watching this video, you're probably studying it right now. I'll master 150 words by memorizing 5 words a day. The next goal, similar to one we just saw a few minutes ago, is I'll master 150 words by memorizing 5 words a day. That sounds pretty good. 5 words a day sounds fine. Just make sure to review so you don't forget the 5 words you learned the day before. Find a way to make sure that you don't forget the words you've already learned. But 5 words a day seems pretty reasonable if you can stick with it. I'll become a better English writer by journaling every day. The next goal is I'll become a better English writer by journaling every day. I think this is a really good goal to have, actually. Just doing something, writing something, creating something in your target language, in this case in English, is great. I do this in Japanese. Like, I don't handwrite, but sometimes I use like Twitter or Instagram, like just to try to say what I would like to say of course, in English, but also to try and say it in Japanese as well. So I use writing as a way to like just try to create language roughly every day or so. I'll watch 1 history documentary a week to learn more about the United States. The next goal is I'll watch 1 history documentary a week to learn more about the United States. Oh, this is interesting. This is a cultural goal, really. So watching the documentary is a nice way to practice your language, but because this goal has a history documentary in the goal name, you'd be learning about the culture of the country. The culture behind the language that you speak a little bit. That's a really good goal, actually. I like that one. Okay, that is the end. That was the last one. All right, so those are 10 goals for learning English this year. So maybe one of your goals was included in this list. If you have a different goal for your language learning this year, please leave it in a comment. Let us know how it goes, too. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Top Words. If you haven't already, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks very much, and we'll see you again soon. Bye! Whoa, that's a big goal. Watching the same movie every day,
Hardcore.
that is really hardcore. I wonder what movie would you watch?
Groundhog Day.
Clearly, like there's any other choice. Yeah. I was gonna say like Star Wars, but that's probably not a very good choice because it's like science fiction. I would want to use a movie that's like, you know, you could pick up like lines from and actually use them. Maybe like a comedy then. Or even like, it sounds dumb, but like a romance, or like, what's that called? Chick flick?
Yeah.
You know, like this like cheesy romance movies.
Rom-com.
Those might be good. Yeah, honestly, because there's so much like normal dialogue in those. Yeah, wow, that would be quite a goal. Wow, if anybody does that, 10 points for you.
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about the top 25 English phrases. So let's get started. The first phrase is hello. Hello, of course, is used as a greeting. You can greet your friends, you can greet your coworkers, your family with this phrase just by saying hello. Hey, hi, what's up? Hello. Sup. Yo. Pretty much any time of day you can use hello. Hello. The next phrase is good morning. Good morning is used as a greeting in the morning. You can kind of feel when morning ends for you. Good morning is nice and polite. Or even just morning with your close friends or close coworkers. The next phrase is good night. Good night is fine. We don't use this to greet other people. We use it when we're saying goodbye to other people at night. Family members, particularly mothers and fathers, to say good night to their children before they put them to bed. You can say it to your friend in a text message or in an email if you've been talking for a while. Good night. So the next word to talk about is goodbye. Use it when you say goodbye to your friends, when you leave your friends. Goodbye. Bye, of course. Take care. Have a nice day. Peace out. That's another way to say goodbye. Okay, the next phrase is I'm plus your name. Of course, this is a way to introduce yourself. You can use I'm, in my case, Alicia. I'm Alicia to introduce yourself in any situation. New friend, I'm Alicia. Okay, the next phrase is what's your name? What's your name is used to ask someone else what their name is. So, what is your name sounds a bit, try to use what's your name. If you forget someone's name, you can say sorry, what's your name? Or sorry, what's your name again? Next phrase is nice to meet you. Nice to meet you anytime you meet someone new. Nice to meet you is fine. Good to meet you is a little more casual. Great to meet you sounds very excited. Pleasure to meet you sounds like maybe a formal situation or a business context. Okay, the next phrase is how are you? How are you is just a friendly way to check in with the other person. You can use it with friends, your family, your coworkers, maybe even your boss to a certain degree. How are ya? How you doing? The next phrase is I'm fine, thanks. And you? If you saw English in 3 minutes, we talked a lot about this phrase. Instead of I'm fine, thank you, and you, say I'm good, thanks. How are you? Just shorten it, make it a little bit more natural. How are you? Good. How are you? Great. How are you? Not so good. How are you? Okay. And so on. So when someone says, how are you? I usually say, I'm good. This week, I blah, blah, blah. Give some information about what you've been up to. Maybe a hobby, something that you did recently, an event, something interesting you saw, whatever. People want to make that connection with you, and it's a good chance for you to continue speaking. The next word is please. Please is a polite phrase used when you want something from someone else. You can use this as a response when someone offers you something, like in a restaurant, for example. Would you like more water? Would you like something to drink? Oh, please. The next phrase is thank you. Thank you is used to express your appreciation. You can use thank you with everybody. The next phrase is you're welcome. You're welcome. When someone says thank you, you can say you're welcome. No biggie. I use no biggie, as in no biggie is short for no big problem. The next word is yes. Yes, of course. Yes means is any positive expression. Someone asks you a question and the answer is a positive answer. You say yes, yep, yeah. Oui. No. Next, I'm guessing I know it. Yep. The next word is no. No is a negative response to something when you have to give a negative answer. So as you can probably guess, the long form of no is negative. I like to use nope. It's very, very casual. Not gonna happen. My parents would use that with me. To soften that a little bit, if you want to show a negative response to something, like let's go out for dinner tonight. What do you want to do? Like, do you want to go out? Not really. No, I don't think so, to soften it. The next word is okay, okay. This word comes from copy editors. Okay, when they had to check a manuscript, they had to label the manuscript all clear, AC, but because they were copy editors and they have a very, very sick sense of humor, they thought they would mark it okay for all clear to make a joke because O and K do not start all and clear. But it caught on among everybody in the world. Anyway, okay is used to agree with somebody else. Well, it can be used actually to express a positive or kind of a slight negative, I feel. Transitioning in your conversation, you can say, okay, now we're going to talk about blah, blah, blah. Okay. The next phrase is excuse me. Excuse me, it's used to get someone's attention in English when you don't know the other person. For example, in a store, a supermarket, maybe a stranger on the street, you need to ask directions. You can use excuse me. You can use excuse me in the supermarket. Excuse me, can you tell me where the hot sauce is? If you've done something rude in public, you can use excuse me. I personally do not do rude things in public ever. I'm sorry is the next word we're going to talk about. I'm sorry is used to apologize. When you have made a mistake or someone you know has made a mistake and you're connected to it, or you just feel bad, you can use I'm sorry. You made a mistake at work. I'm sorry. You forgot to feed your cat. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. You bumped someone next to you. Oh, sorry. What time is it is the next phrase when you need to check what time it is. What time is it? When you ask someone else what time it is, maybe you say this to yourself too. Check your watch, check your phone, check a clock. Pretty straightforward phrase. There aren't really any short versions, so that's an easy one. Where is the plus a location. So you can use this for a building or a store. We're not going to use this where is the for a place, a city name or a state name or a country name. To do that, you would need to remove the. But where is the bank? Where is the post office? You can use this to ask directions, to ask for help in your house or at work. Where is the copy machine? Where is the file I need? Where is the blah, blah, blah? Where is the bathroom is perhaps a very important question to know. The next one is, may I use the restroom? May I use the restroom is a polite and soft expression that you can use if you need to use the toilet, you need to use the washroom. When you're at someone's house for the very first time, when you're in a place that is new to you, you can ask, may I use the restroom? More casually, can I go to the bathroom? To be very polite, you can say, may I go to the bathroom? The next phrase is, I would like to order something. You can use this at a restaurant probably, or in any situation where you need to place an order. I'd like a pizza. I'd like a beer. Can I get the check, please? This will be used at a restaurant. When you've finished your meal and it's time to go, can I get the check, please? In a very, very casual situation, you can just say, check, please. That's fine. The next phrase is see you soon. See you soon is used with friends and family members, perhaps, when you expect to see them again soon after saying goodbye to them. This is used at the end of the conversation. You're going separate directions. You say, see you soon. See ya is also good, or just see you. To make it a little more formal, you can say, I'll see you again soon. Make a full sentence out of it that way. The next phrase is see you later. See you later is very similar to see you soon, but the point is with see you later is that you're probably going to meet that person again later on in the same day. The last phrase is really. Really is a very useful word because you can use it to show you are interested in a conversation with upward intonation. Really, really, tell me more. Or to show that you're not so interested in the conversation with downward intonation. Really. So there are many other words that you can use similar to really in this way, like seriously or oh, and so on. So it's a really good practice for your intonation. So those are 25 very common words and phrases in English. If you liked this video, if you liked this topic, please subscribe. I'm sure there'll be a button here somewhere or a button here, wherever. But please be sure to subscribe to our channel because we're going to be doing more videos like this, and we already have more videos like this, so please be sure to check them out. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye. Really? Oh, interesting. Okay, I see. Great, fantastic, unbelievable. Gratitude, subjects. What do we have for dinner tonight? Pizza? Affirmative. I'll riff on that. I am Chris Hardwick.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about the top 25 English nouns. These are the top 25 most commonly used nouns in English, so let's get started. The first noun is the word name. Name, of course, is used in common questions like, what's your name, my name is, and so on. My favorite actor's name is Harrison Ford, something like that. Say my name, say my name. The next word is time. Time is used, of course, to express the point in the day, is used in questions like, what time is it? Can you tell me what time it is? I don't have any time lately, if you're really busy. Have you any time? It's time for my favorite show, House of Cards. Kevin Spacey is cool. The next noun is man. Please be careful. Man is one of those words that has an irregular plural form. When you need to use the plural of the word man, you should say men. Do not say mans. It's very funny, but don't say it. Who's that man? Or what's up, man? You can use man with men or women, interestingly enough. The next word is woman. Woman also has an irregular plural form. Please say women when referring to more than one woman, not women's or woman's. Even though the singular and the plural form of women and woman have the same spelling at the beginning, W-O-M, the pronunciations are different. Woman, women. So watch out for that when you say this. Pretty woman. The next word is person. Person. You can use it to refer generally to either a man or a woman. Please be careful. Person's plural form becomes people. When you want to talk about another culture, for example, you can say such and such country's people, or the people in that country speak blah, blah, blah language. The next word is thing. Generally an inanimate object, something that is
that just doesn't move, like a water bottle or, a sweater. A thing. You can use it when you don't know the word for something. So thing is very, very useful. What is this thing? I like many things, for example. Where the Wild Things Are, the movie that's already out that I totally knew about. The next word is mother. Mother is the person, the woman who gave birth to you. Isn't that exciting? Mother is commonly shortened to mom or mama or mommy, madre if you speak Spanish, mum, mamba if you're me, mamacita. The next word is day. Of course, day is used in all of the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Time period when the sun is out, the day or the daytime. Have a nice day. The next word is world. World just refers to the entire planet Earth. I like to travel all around the world, or I like trying foods from all around the world. In the world of science, this is an upcoming technology. Or in the world of literature, he's one of the most famous authors. So world can be used to refer just to kind of a more specific hobby or a specific interest or just a specific person's life. War of Worlds. Father. Father is your dad. Other common words used for father are dad, papa, pop, daddy, pa, faja. I use that one with my dad. While mother is used to refer to kind of like nurturing, kind of like, the earth or things that like kind of give life to others. Father, at least in my mind, there's kind of this image of someone who's a little bit more strict in your life. The next word is sister. A female sibling is your sister. You can also use sister for a female person that you feel very, very close with. So I might call my female friend, I'm very close to, my sister. My brother likes to shorten it to sis. You might also hear sista as well if you are silly. Sister. Whoopi Goldberg was in a famous movie called Sister Act. The next word is brother. Brother is a male sibling. You can also use brother to refer to a close male friend. Common variations of brother are brother, bro, bra, brosy, broski. Depending on what kind of person you are, you can choose to use any number of those. Like, I might sarcastically say to my friend, cool story, bro, like if he's told me a story that's not very exciting. In Mario, for example, the name of the Mario games is actually Super Mario Brothers, but Brothers is abbreviated as BROS, Super Mario Bros. Yeah, just be careful about your use of bro, because it sounds a little bit like a college-age boy. That's kind of the feeling of the word bro. Oh, brother, where art thou? The next word is daughter. Daughter is a female child. Daughter. Do you have a daughter? I have a daughter. I don't have a daughter. Taken. It's son. A male child is someone's son. Son, S-O-N, is pronounced exactly the same as S-U-N, son. What are you talking about, son? The next word is I. E-Y-E, I. Your eye is the round thing that you use to see with. I is used in a lot of expressions and idioms in English, as in, I've got my eye on you, meaning I'm watching you. Or keep your eye out for something, meaning please look for something, or please pay close attention. I'm waiting for something to happen. The next word is hand, body part. Give me a hand, or can I give you a hand, means please help me, or can I help you, to give someone a hand. Head, this thing on the top of your body, your head. We use head to refer to the top of things, as in the head of a company, the head of a group, the head of the line. So whoever is first in the line, whoever is top at the company, they are the head. If you have a head, dance. If you have a head, then dance. Woo! The next word is foot. This is another word that has a weird plural form. 1 foot, 2 feet. Foot, interestingly enough, foot is used, of course, to refer to your body part. A foot also is a unit of measurement. If you are from America, or I believe one other country in the world uses this system. Sorry, we're not on board with the metric thing in America. But foot is 12 inches, about this long. So if head refers to the top of things, foot is used to refer to the bottom of things. If you've written a paper on Microsoft Word, for example, at the very bottom of the page, there will be a space called the footer, meaning the bottom, where you can put little notes to your reader. The next word is place. Place can be used to refer generally to a location, commonly to refer to friends' homes or apartments. Let's go to your place, or can we have the party at your place, is a little bit more natural than I want to go to your house. The next word is work. Be careful about using work as a noun and work as a verb. Your work refers to your job, your responsibilities, your tasks at your office or your workplace. You can use it in a phrase like, I have a lot of work to do, or please help me with my work. I like to go to work. It can be used to just refer to anything artistic in general. So it can be a painting, it can be a building, it can be a sculpture, it can be, I don't know, whatever. Anything artsy can be referred to as work, as in, I really like that new work by that artist, or did you see so-and-so's new work? Twerk? The next word is week. Week refers to the 7-day period that we have decided is 1 week here in the modern world. Commonly used in expressions relating to your activities, as in I go to the gym once a week, or I see my friends twice a week, or I have to work every day of the week. Monday through Friday is referred to as weekdays. Saturday and Sunday, weekend. Next word is month. Month is, there are 12 months in a year. My favorite month, depending on which country I'm in, I generally like autumn months, like October. I think I usually like the month of October. September, October is good because it's not too hot, not too cold, and Halloween is coming, and that's my favorite holiday. Hannah month, Tana. The next word is year. Year refers to the time period, usually 365 days. There are leap years where there is an extra day in the month of February. What year were you born? Or I was born in the year of the rabbit, depending on which calendar you like to use. It can be used to introduce a story, as in many years ago I went to blah, blah, blah. Year of the platypus. Next is the word one, the number one, the first number, one of something. To refer to somebody who you loved and who left your life, you can say, oh, he or she was the one that got away. The next one is the word number, but it can be used in a number of expressions, like what's your phone number, or give me your number, or here's my number. It means phone number, but we don't always say phone. That's the end of the top 25 most common nouns in the English language. Maybe you've used some of these, you probably have. Keep them in mind and have fun with them. Thanks very much for watching this episode, and we'll see you again soon. Bye! If you have a head, woo! Do you like trees? Yeah! Yeah! Right. Matt. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about the top 25 English verbs by frequency, so let's get into it. Be is the first English verb. Be refers to existence. I want to be an astronaut. I think you would be a great person for this job. Be yourself. Let's be friends. I could have been a writer if I wanted to be. The next verb is have. I have a dog. I have an idea. What do you have? How many do you have? How much money do you have? Do you have any friends? How have you been? Have you seen my mom? I can't find her. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. The next verb is do. Do you want some pizza? Do you have a dog? Do I gibbity dipty do? Dooby-doo-be-doo. If you're Frank Sinatra. I do the things that you do better. Say what you want. Say my name, say my name. Say you love me. Do you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? The next verb is get. Get a life, get a job, get a haircut, get a better suit. Stevens. What you got? I could have gotten a pony, but I went with a lizard instead. I'm getting tired. That's not true. The next verb is make. Make a cake. Make your mother proud. Someone outside is making a strange face at me through the window at the moment. That is a true story. Make a living through legitimate means. The next verb is go. Go big or go home. I'm going to the beach. You should go to the beach. You should go to the forest. Go to a baseball game with me. Past tense of go is went. I went spelunking on my holiday. The next word is no. This is an interesting word because no is actually not commonly used in the progressive tense. No is commonly used in present tense to refer to your mental state or your emotional state. So we don't really say I am knowing, really. But we can say I know. I know the answer. What do you know about this issue? He couldn't have possibly known the location of the treasure. How many people do you know? I knew it! The next verb is take. Take a cake. Take a break. Take yourself to bed. You should take a vacation. Have you ever taken a bath? The next word is see. We'll see. I'll see you later. The next verb is come. Come is the next verb. Please come to my house. Come to a party. I'm gonna come over to your place later. The next word is think. Think. I think you're great. He thinks pizza is the best food. I'm thinking about lunch. I'm thinking about coffee. What are you thinking about? I've been thinking about something. That's a Hanson song. Have you ever thought about the meaning of life? Look. Look is the next verb. Please look at the camera. Look over there. Look over here. Look, a dog. Look at your mom. Oh my gosh, would you look at that? Look at the time. Look. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's actually a bird. Look at that. Is it me you're looking for? Hello? Next word is want. Want. What do you want? I want food. How many coffees have you ever wanted? I wanted to go to the dry cleaners this morning, but I ran out of time. That's true. The next verb is give. Give me a break. I'm going to give you a raise, Stevens. I'm giving you the axe. Fired. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off these I can't apart. I have given you everything I have. Go unto Mordor, Frodo. I could have given you the world, and instead I gave you a carpet. Use is the next word. Use. Don't use a pen. I like using chocolate when I make food. Are you using me for my brain? Next is find. We could have found buried treasure last weekend. I'm finding Nemo. Find things on the internet with Google. Find English words and phrases at EnglishClass101.com. Yeah! Tell is the next verb. Tell me a story. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm told that you are an extremely good opera singer. I'm telling you to leave. Tell lies every day. Don't tell lies. The next word is ask. Ask. Please pronounce this correctly. It is not axe. Many native speakers make this pronunciation mistake, and it really bothers me. Ask. Ask me about my collection of rare donut recipes. Ask your mom about her life. Why don't you ask your boss to the party? How about you ask your coworker for some advice about this issue? I should have asked for help, but I didn't. The next verb is work. Work is work. I'm working now. Seem, to seem. The weather seems nice today. He seemed a little angry this morning. Feel is the next word. Feel. I feel happy. Feelings. How does it feel? Feel. Feel. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Try. Oh my gosh, try is the next word. I'm trying my best. I try every day to work very hard. Have you ever tried ramen? I tried ramen yesterday and it was really good. Do you try to exercise every day? I'm trying to sleep. Go away. The next verb is leave. Leave. Leave me alone. Leave your doors unlocked. Don't leave your doors unlocked. I have never left a hot air balloon without first taking a picture. The next verb is call. Call is the next verb. Give me a call. Please call me later. Call me maybe. Call your mom on her birthday every year. She'll be happy. Call, call. If you're a seagull, have you ever called the wrong number? Have you ever called a dog by another dog's name? And that's the end. That was the most fun episode I've ever done, I think. So those are 25 English verbs, some very, very common English verbs. Give them a try. We've talked about a lot of different grammar forms and a lot of different ways you can use these verbs. So please practice them. And if you like this video, please be sure to comment. Please, please, please be sure to subscribe to. We'll have a button around here somewhere, maybe many buttons. So please subscribe to us and check out more content as it becomes available. Thanks very much, and we'll see you again soon. Bye. Surfed. Look at that. Do you want to build a snow?
Leave your babies outside of the movie theater. Leave your attitude at the door. There are a lot of verbs in English. Okay, these are just a few. Let's begin the discussion of the personality adjective. Hi everybody and welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia and in today's episode we're going to be talking about what adjective describes your personality best. So let's go. Charismatic. Someone who is charismatic is perhaps a good leader. People are drawn to them. People want to follow them, want to come to them. Charismatic doesn't necessarily mean that that person is a good person or a bad person, just that they are very good at drawing people to them. People tell me that I'm very charismatic. Boring. Boring means something that is not interesting. So hopefully nobody calls you boring. If you're a boring person, work on that. Let's talk about cardboard boxes. Reliable. Reliable. Someone who's reliable, someone that you can trust, or someone that always does what they say they're going to do. My best friend is very reliable. Humorous. Humorous. Humorous is just funny. There's a difference between funny and humorous and silly in terms of people. Anyway, this is how I would break it down. Silly is like appreciates just very kind of childish stuff or just enjoys laughing. Funny is like a slightly more grown up. Funny, I feel like silly can be part of funny. Silly can fit into funny. But funny is a little bit more grown up. Maybe you're like actual word jokes that are, you know, require a bit more knowledge or are a bit smarter. And then humorous. Humorous is like, I feel like it's a bit more pretentious. I hope that my friends think that I'm a very humorous person. The next word is energetic. Energetic means you have a lot of energy. I personally don't use it. If someone says, what's your best friend like? I wouldn't immediately think, he's energetic. Like, I feel like that's a given somehow. And when I say that's a given, it means it's an already understood idea. I would use energetic for something you would not expect to be energetic. My grandmother is very energetic. She hikes mountains, even though she's 80-something. Lazy. Yeah, you don't want to be called lazy generally. It means that maybe you're not hardworking, you don't take care of yourself, or you don't take care of your responsibilities. Generally, lazy is not seen as a good thing, unless you use it in an expression like today is a lazy Sunday. One of my coworkers is really lazy. He never has his stuff done on time. Extroverted. Extroverted. It begins with that prefix extro, like ex meaning outside, so like extra, more information. So an extroverted person is a very outgoing person. They like talking to people. They want to go out and do all the things and be social and go, yeah, I like being extroverted on this program. Introverted. The opposite of extroverted is introverted. Introverted inside, something interior. They want to not go talk to people all the time. Or maybe they just have a different way of expressing their social skills. In reality, I'm a rather introverted person. The next word is indecisive. Indecisive. Indecisive people drive me crazy. This word means someone who is bad at making decisions. I have a friend who's very indecisive. She can't ever make up her mind. I have to do it for her. Easygoing. Easygoing. Easygoing is a good thing to be, generally, in my opinion. Easygoing means you're relaxed. You'll just do whatever. You're happy to just hang out. If someone makes a suggestion, you're cool with that. All right, fine. That's great for me. I'll do whatever. My best friend is very easygoing. He's cool to do anything. The next word is naive. Naive. So someone that doesn't have a lot of experience in a topic or even life experience could be considered naive. You don't want to be called naive. The suggestion with naive is that it's easy to take advantage of you. Maybe you could be easily molded or your experience can easily be changed by someone else. So generally naive is not a good thing. You don't want to be naive. My friend was very naive and got in trouble with a bad business deal. The next word is artistic. Yeah, artistic is a good word, similar to creative, perhaps. Artistic is someone who enjoys art or enjoys creating things. So it's not limited to, just art, like paintings, doing paintings or sculptures or something like that. Any kind of creative endeavor, any kind of creative work, I feel you could use the word artistic for. My aunt is very artistic. She can draw very well. Enthusiastic, enthusiastic. This is similar to energetic, but it just means you're excited about things. You're enthusiastic about something, usually. Sports fans are very enthusiastic about their favorite team. Friendly, friendly. I hope that you are a friendly person. Is someone maybe that it feels easy for you to talk to. Someone that's chill, someone that's probably outgoing, maybe a bit extroverted is a friendly person. I went to an event on Saturday and everybody there was very friendly. It was a fun time. How would I describe my personality? God, it depends on the day, man. The one that I use lately is scatterbrained, but that has a very negative connotation about it. Scatterbrained, if you break down the words scatter and brain, scatter means like to spread something randomly, and brain meaning inside your brain. I have so many different things going on that like I'm thinking about like this job and this project and that project, and I have to do this, and oh my god, my laundry's not done yet, and what am I gonna make for dinner tomorrow? Oh my god, I have to go running later tonight. What am I gonna do? How many cups of coffee have I had? This is what's going on in my head. Those are 15 words that you can use to talk about your personality or to talk about someone else's personality. So you can try and use one of these words to describe your personality. Leave us a comment below and you can test it out. If there's a different word that you are interested in using to describe your personality or another person's personality, let us know about it. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Top Words, and we will see you again soon. Bye!
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Vamos a la piscina. That means we're going to the movie theater, right? All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Alicia. Welcome back to Top Words. Today, we're going to be talking about must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing. Very useful. So let's go. Exactly, exactly. When you agree 100% with something someone else has said, you can say exactly. For example, ramen is one of the best foods in the world. Exactly. I don't agree. I don't agree. You have a different opinion from the other person. They tell you, I think that soccer is the best sport. You can say, I don't agree, but be prepared to provide your own opinion after this. I think soccer is the best sport. I don't agree. I think that football is. Oh, that could cause some problems. Soccer, football. Americans say football when we mean American football, but the rest of the world says football when they mean soccer. Maybe. Maybe is when you don't know, when you can't make a decision or when you're not sure about something. Okay, so someone tosses you an opinion. Someone says their idea to you. I think it's gonna rain tomorrow. You can say, yeah, maybe. You don't know for sure, yes or no, but it's possible. It's a good sort of in-between expression. But if you use maybe all the time, it's gonna sound really strange and it's gonna sound like you can't make a decision. So use maybe very sparingly. Don't use it so often. Maybe is very commonly used as a soft no. It's up to you to figure that out among the people that you're talking to, though. Do you want to stay over at my house this weekend? Maybe. I couldn't agree with you more. You are in complete agreement with the other person and really want to communicate that to them. You think that what they have just said is really, really correct, super correct. Yes, you are completely on board with that idea. You can say, I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't, the negative form. I could not agree with you more, meaning it's not possible that I could agree more with what you're saying. Next week, it's really important that we have a barbecue because summer is ending. And then your friend can say, I couldn't agree more. That's a fantastic idea. I'll buy steak. I think we're going to have to agree to disagree. Agree to disagree. This is a kind of, it seems like a simple phrase, agree to disagree. So you're agreeing with the other person. You agree that we have a different opinion. Agree to disagree. I would use this expression at the end of a discussion. So person A and person B have different opinions, and they've been discussing those opinions for a long time. And person A is not changing his or her opinion. Person B is not changing his or her opinion. So you can say at the end of the conversation, okay, we have to agree to disagree. Let's just accept our different opinions and move on in the conversation. You have a point there. This is not necessarily an agreement or disagreement phrase. It's a small agreement within a larger discussion. So maybe you've been discussing a topic for a long time and you've disagreed with the other person until this time. This person says something and you agree with that. You have a point there. So there's one thing that this person has said that you can agree with. You can say, you have a point there. I think that's correct, or I agree with that point. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Meaning, my feeling is the same as your feeling, or my opinion is the same as your opinion. That's exactly how I feel. Maybe you can use this if someone describes your feeling very accurately. For example, you can say, I feel like the company is really heading in a nice new direction. You can say, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I really like the new boss. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's soft. It's not so direct. It's not a hard, I disagree, but just, I don't think so. Of course, you can use it to discuss opinions, but you can also use it when you're making plans. Are you going to that party this weekend? I don't think so. It's not a disagreement, but it can be used as a negation phrase, a negative response to something. When used as an opinion, I think Chinese is the hardest language to learn. You can say, I don't think so. I think that Arabic is the hardest language to learn. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right means you're correct. Yes, I agree with you. I think that's the right information. I think that's the correct opinion. Just a very clear agreement phrase. You're right. It also has the nuance of being correct. So maybe there was a possibility the other person could be incorrect. Did you know that pepperoni pizza is the most delicious pizza in the world? Yes. You're right. So you could change it to that's right for that opinion. You can use your to talk specifically about the person itself, but that's right. Yes, that's right. That information is correct. I guess so. I guess so. It's an agreement, but it's sort of a flaky agreement. I guess so. It's like you don't really want to make a decision, but you don't feel strongly in one, like in agreement or disagreement. You can say, I guess so. It's usually said with this tone of voice, I guess so. You know, we don't really say, I guess so. Generally, it's like you can't quite make a decision or you don't want to make a decision. You can say, I guess so. Hey, we're going to go for Chinese food for dinner tonight. Do you want to come? Yeah, I guess so. You don't feel strongly either way. I guess so. I'm afraid I disagree. It's a rather polite expression that you can use in a business situation, for example. I'm afraid here doesn't mean I'm actually scared or I'm really frightened, but just it's a softener that's used at the beginning of sentences to introduce a negative opinion. So I'm afraid I disagree, or I'm afraid I can't agree with you, for example. I think that you need to adopt a new policy for your company. I'm afraid I disagree. It's a soft disagreement that sounds a bit more formal than some of the other phrases we've talked about so far. Absolutely. Absolutely means 100%. Yes, exactly. Precisely. Definitely. It's a quick and clear and can be polite as well as casual word that means you agree with the other person. Hey, do you want to go to the beach this weekend? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, that's the end. So those are some phrases that you can use to agree and disagree with other people. There are a lot of them, and you can kind of mix and match them as you see fit. So give them a try. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Top Words, and we'll see you again soon. Bye. Playa's Beach. Okay.
You've decided to study a new language. So now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1, create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2, make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3, find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4, use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
Welcome back to the internet. Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. First question. First question comes from Faris Ghazali. How do I stop translating the meaning of English words in my head? I can tell you about the things that have helped me, and maybe they'll help you. I put myself in situations where I could not escape into my native language. In my case, I could not escape into English. I would go out for food and drinks with friends who could not speak English. I had no choice but to use a different language with them. 2, something that I've noticed some of my students do that actually kind of bothers me. They bring a dictionary to their lesson and they'll stop conversations in lessons to check words in their dictionary and say a single word at a time instead of just trying to find a different way to explain that. 1, it totally stops the flow of conversation. 2, you don't have really the option to do that in a conversation. Most of the time you're not going to be carrying around your dictionary with you, I hope, unless it's in your phone, I suppose. 3rd, I think that this is a chance to develop a better skill. Instead of trying to translate into English or to translate into a different language, you should think about finding a different way to explain the word you want to use. Let's say, for example, that you want to use the word beautiful, but you can't remember the word. How would you explain that? So think about other ways to communicate an idea, even if you don't have the vocabulary word. So going to your dictionary shouldn't necessarily be the first course of action. It shouldn't necessarily be your first step. Think about a different way to communicate the idea you're trying to communicate. Think of examples to explain the word you're looking for, and then the other person can teach you. Like if you're working with somebody or you're talking with somebody who understands you're not a native speaker, chances are if you can explain the word you're looking for, they will tell you. They will be your teacher. I just explain with body language sometimes too if I don't know a word. So another thing that really helped me was not just studying vocabulary words, but actually approaching things as phrases. So not saying, okay, this word equals this word in my language, but rather here's a phrase that communicates a meaning that is interesting to me or that I hear my friends use a lot. I'm going to use that phrase. So don't just input. Start outputting too. So hope that's helpful for you. Next question. Next question is from Huang Jiang Ik. Hi. Huang Jiang Ik says, I'm curious, what do you do on your days off? You want to know how to do on my days off? On my days, I'm pretty normal. On my days off, I cook, I go jogging, I sleep, I go listen to my favorite DJs, I see my friends, I eat and drink and watch TV. That's about it. I'm a pretty normal person. Next question. Next question is from Muhammad Sohail. What is the difference between famous and popular? Great question. Famous is something that is well known. Many people know about that thing or that person. Beyonce is famous. The Statue of Liberty is famous. The Eiffel Tower is famous. Popular, however, means many people know about it and it is liked. It has a positive image. So like Beyonce is popular, or like a famous candy is popular, like chocolate cake is popular. It's a famous food and many people like it. So popular is famous plus like a positive image. Sometimes we can use those two words for the same thing. So Beyonce is famous, Beyonce is popular. But famous doesn't always mean they are popular. So someone can be famous for a bad thing. In that case though, it's typically better to use the word infamous. Infamous means famous for a bad reason. So famous for something negative. Next question. Next question comes from, oh, you wrote the pronunciation of your name. Very nice. Aitan, I think. Okay. Hey Alicia, I hope you're well. My level is intermediate. They feel that they're stuck at the intermediate level and want to reach the advanced level. they're watching lots of videos on YouTube, reading academic articles on the web, but still feel that progress has somehow stopped. Could you give me some advice? Okay, you say in your message that you feel your progress somehow has stopped. I have been here too, the intermediate plateau. Like you begin learning a language and it's like, yeah, I'm learning all these things, and then you kind of like plateau. You get to a level where things don't continue and you feel like progress goes much more slowly. I would say in this case, first identify how you feel your progress has stopped. By that I mean, like, do you feel like your vocabulary is lacking? Or do you find that it's hard to listen to people and to understand what they're saying? Do you find it's hard to write? Is it hard to read things? So first identify what is that thing that you feel like you're not good at, and then start to approach your further studies with that as the focus. I think that if you can think about your different skill sets, your different levels in reading, writing, speaking, and listening, you can identify which of those 4 things is weakest for you and start there. So when you feel your progress has stopped, think like, okay, what am I not good at doing? And then focus your time there. So maybe that's a helpful first step for you. Hope that helps. Next question. Next question comes from Kiara. Kiara asks, I'll help you studying and I'll help you to study. What is the correct one? Thanks. I'll help you something. I'll help you do this. So just the regular plain form of the verb I would suggest is probably the most natural choice. Thanks for the question though. Next question. Next question comes from Sharif Ahmed. Okay. Should I use the singular or plural verb after colloquial names? For example, my team have won the match or has won the match. Okay, in this case, my team has won the match. My team has won the match. So use the singular form of the verb, like same as like he has or she has. My team has is the correct answer here. Next question. Next question comes from Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey. Jeffrey asks, sometimes I watch movies and some characters say, you wish, with a very angry attitude, or I wish in other situations. What do these 2 sentences mean and how do I use it? Aha, interesting question. Okay, when someone responds with you wish to a negative suggestion, it's like they're mutually together, they're recognizing that they don't like each other. So usually the first character will say something like, make a negative suggestion, like you should leave town and get a different job, like leave us alone, something like that. And then the other character will say, yeah, you wish, like, yes, this character recognizes you want me to do that, yes, but I'm not going to do that, in other words. So it's sort of like a challenge. So this person says like this negative suggestion, the other person recognizes this suggestion and says, no, I'm not going to do that, but I know you want me to do that. So you wish in this way means it's like a negative challenge. They're kind of fighting, recognizing they dislike each other. So that's one. The other one, what was the other one? So I wish, we talked about I wish in the previous episode of Ask Alicia, so please check that out. But essentially, I wish refers to something that we cannot do now, or something that is different from the present situation, but we want to happen, or we want to be able to do. So please check the last episode of Ask Alicia for more about I wish, like the positive meaning. Next question. Next question is from Romeo Liu from Vietnam. Hello, Romeo. Could you please explain what the expression try as I may means? This is usually used in an expression that's sort of negative, like even though I'm trying my best, it's difficult for me to do this thing. So try as I may, I just can't get a new job. Or try as I may, I just can't earn that much money. Or try as I may, I just can't seem to cook this dish, for example. So even though I'm giving my best effort, even though I'm really working hard, this other thing just isn't happening for me. So it's sort of like a sad or like a disappointed or unhappy expression, actually. Thanks for the question, Romeo. Okay, so those are all the questions for this week's episode of Ask Alicia. I hope that they were useful for you. If you would like to submit a question, remember you can send them to me at englishclass101.com/ask-alicia. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Ask Alicia, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye. I talk too much. I'm late for work.
Hi everybody, welcome back to English Topics. My name is Alicia, and today I'm joined again by...
Hi, I'm Davey.
Welcome back, Davey. So today we're going to be talking about famous American Christmas movies. We have both prepared 3 movies that maybe had some kind of special significance to us around the holiday season or Christmas in particular. So let us introduce a few. Davey, do you want to start?
Sure. This was the first one that jumped to my mind, so I'm sharing it first. Home Alone. Classic Christmas movie. I remember going to see this in the theater with my mom when I was a little kid. Yeah, so that maybe ages me a little bit. It's a great movie. Kevin gets stuck home alone in Chicago, I believe, as his family goes off to spend Christmas in Paris, and he has to fend off some wacky criminals.
Right. And Home Alone, there were what, like 2 or 3 sequels to Home Alone?
I think there was at least one.
Like, wouldn't you find that a bit suspicious about that family if that child continued to be left home alone year after year,
Yes.
and the same criminals came back year after year?
Yes, some of them have to change. Actually, I think in the second one it's still Kevin, and then I think they switched to a different kid for a different movie.
Ah, I see.
But I don't remember who the criminals are. Now.
Right, and the only reason I think that that's considered a Christmas movie is because that's the time of year at which the movie takes place.
I must disagree with you there, Alicia.
Okay.
There is a strong Christmas message.
It is?
Yes, Kevin is home alone. At the beginning of the movie, he's motivated because he's so dissatisfied with his family life. He's really angry at his siblings and his parents, and he wishes that they would leave. And they leave, and he's stuck home alone. And at first he loves it. And he puts on his dad's aftershave, that's why you get the Home Alone face.
I remember that.
And, hanging out. Then the criminals come, and he realizes he misses his family, and he needs them. And he finds Christmas solace through an old man that lives down the street. It's a heartwarming tale.
Indeed. Action as well.
Yes, action
Zany antics.
Yep, just like Christmas.
Right? Every Christmas is like that.
Always. Every year.
Always. Throwing refrigerators at criminals.
That's right.
Right? Right.
Paint cans,
Indeed.
blow torches.
Right?
Yeah.
The traditional festivities of the
Kevin
season.
was pretty cruel for a...
Actually, yeah. I don't
10-year-old
remember
kid.
being that creative or evil when I was that little.
That's true.
There are a lot of things going on in that movie we could analyze, but let us move on.
Different times,
Okay.
different times.
Okay, so I'll go on to the first movie that I have on my list. The first one that I have is Elf. Elf is fairly recent compared to a movie like Home Alone. Home Alone was made in what, the early 90s?
I think that's right.
Something like that. Elf was made what, like the early 2000s or so? Elf is quite a comparatively new Christmas movie actually. But the story is Will Ferrell plays an elf. So elves are, in maybe American Christmas lore, in Christmas stories, elves are the people who help Santa Claus in his workshop to create toys for children. And elves only stay in that workshop. They live there in the North Pole with Santa. But in the story of Elf, one of these elves leaves the North Pole in an effort to find his father because he's raised different from his fellow elves because he is much bigger. So he's played by Will Ferrell. It's a comedy, but it's also kind of a sweet story of a person who is different, trying to find acceptance in a world that doesn't really appreciate people who are different. So there are a lot of kind of nice messages in this story, and it's comedy as well. So like there are a lot of really funny moments, but there are also kind of like some really sweet moments as well. There's singing in it, which is very nice.
Yeah.
There's actually very nice singing, and I don't even usually like singing, but that's quite good.
Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah.
Lovely voice.
Though that song leaves, that is a very questionable Christmas song, I will say. That is a very troubling Christmas song, the one that they sing there. Consent is cool.
Consent is cool.
I'll just say that. Baby, It's Cold Outside is the least agreeable, well, perhaps, Christmas carol. But anyway, that's a different topic. So Elf, Elf is a very popular and rather cheery, pleasant movie, I think.
I watch that Christmas movie every year.
Really?
Every Christmas I watch that movie.
Are you the kind of person who watches Christmas movies every year?
Well, I guess yes. Yes, because I watch that almost every year. Almost every year. I don't remember every year.
What is it that makes you want to watch the same movie at the same time every year? Because I'm not that kind
Honestly,
of person.
well, one kind of movie that I will watch again and again is a comedy. I will watch comedies over and over and over again. I'll always laugh at the same jokes. I like waiting for the jokes, knowing they're coming. And I love Elf. It's a very funny movie. And I remember that movie exists when Christmas is coming around. So more like it just reminds me to watch Elf.
Okay.
So it's not that I think Christmas time I have to watch Elf. It's more like Christmas reminds me to watch Elf.
I see. I see.
But it's a very funny movie.
It is good. Okay, nice. What's your next one?
My next one is another one I watch almost every year, Die Hard.
Yeah.
A lot of people might argue that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I think that it is. And perhaps maybe this is one that you could say is becomes a Christmas movie by default. But again, John McClane didn't have to go down to the building to that Christmas party, but he did. He went down there to try and win back his ex-wife because he was struck by the Christmas spirit. And then he found himself in the middle of a terrorist plot and had to fight his way out.
Happens to me all the time.
Yep.
Yep. Happens to you too, I'm sure, from,
Yeah.
from time to time as
Every
well.
now and again. Not every year, thankfully.
Right.
as it
You just
seems to
get
happen.
swept up in a terrorist plot and then you have to fight your way out.
Yeah.
Holiday season.
Tired old tale.
Yep. For sure. But yes, that is a hotly contested. Hotly contested means many people discuss and debate about it. That's a hotly contested movie in terms of whether or not it is in fact a Christmas movie.
That's true.
But it seems that the majority consensus, most people believe, or well, some people, I should say, do believe firmly that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yes. Well, you should watch it and make a decision for yourself.
That's true. Nice. Okay.
What's your next movie?
I'm going to go to one which you guys actually pointed out to me. I guess I'll just introduce the name of it first. The movie is called The Santa Claus. This came out when I was in elementary school. I don't remember. The Santa Claus. But this, I did not realize it until like a few minutes ago. Usually Santa Claus, the person like in all of our Christmas stories, the guy who brings presents in his red coat and red pants and all that, we spell his name without an E. But in this story, the main character is played by Tim Allen, who was a very popular actor, kind of comedic actor in the 90s in the USA. And in this story, Tim Allen accidentally kills Santa Claus as Santa is delivering presents on Christmas. And so clause here refers to like a condition in a contract or part of a contract, something that indicates future necessary behavior in this case. So in this, I'm overcomplicating it, but because Tim Allen's character kills Santa Claus, the actual person, by doing so, he enters into a contract wherein he has to become Santa Claus, the next Santa Claus. So the title of the film is actually a play on words. It's some wordplay related to this. And I didn't realize that until just now. I saw the movie as a child and I didn't realize the play on words at the time. But now it's like, oh, it's interesting. There's kind of a double meaning in the title of this movie. So so the movie is Tim Allen learning how to be Santa Claus, and as he's going through all these changes and like personality changes and physical changes as well.
That's right.
Yeah. So this was one I saw it maybe once I think when I was a kid, but there were just like some strong kind of funny visuals in it, like his hair, he would suddenly grow a beard or he would suddenly get like really fat, like as he was becoming Santa in the movie.
Right.
So this was one that I remember from my childhood for some reason.
Yeah. What I don't remember either is whether or not the Santa Claus stipulates if you have to become Santa as a result of murder or just accidental.
I don't know. This is getting very dark.
It was.
Was it manslaughter or homicide?
I don't know. They don't really stipulate.
Well, I believe that it was accidental in the movie.
Well, so what happens if you really go for it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Let's continue. Let's continue. On to another movie.
Okay, all right. My last movie, I had to go for a classic, is It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but it's one of the maybe oldest Christmas movies I remember. Not because it's just the oldest one on my list. I think this movie came out in the 50s or 60s. But it's one I remember watching when I was very small, watching it at home with my family. And it's just a really good classic Christmas movie.
Yeah, I think I've only seen it once as well. I saw it maybe when I was a teenager. But the movie, it's called It's a Wonderful Life, but it is an emotional film that goes to many different places.
It is. It's a heavy movie.
Yeah, there's some Christmas themes for sure, So yeah, that is absolutely quite a classic, I think. But don't let the title fool you. There are many emotional roller coasters to ride in that film for sure. Okay, nice. Then I'll finish up, I guess, with one that we sort of debated. I wasn't sure whether to include it, and we decided okay, or I decided okay. The movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas. I was hesitant to include this because I feel like it could be like a Halloween movie, but at the same time, it is sort of a Christmas movie. So if you're familiar, this is a film by Tim Burton. It's an animated film. But basically the characters in the movie, the animated characters in the movie are from a place where Halloween is like the theme of their city.
Halloween Town.
Yeah, it's called Halloween Town. And one day, one of the characters in Halloween Town discovers this other place, this other city, like Christmas Town, like where everything is themed around Christmas. And he's so excited about it. He wants to bring that back to his Halloween city. So he tries to recreate Christmas in his hometown, essentially. And he creates kind of this very, very strange, like very dark interpretation of Christmas, but again, he's trying to bring like the idea of Christmas spirit to his hometown in the best way that he can, and he kind of messes it up. But the message there is just that he's trying to make his community a little bit happier, or to improve his community a little bit, and kind of the struggles that he goes through to do that.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting film as well. Yeah. There are a lot of layers to that.
It's true. I think that the overall plot makes it more of a Christmas movie than a Halloween movie.
Yeah, I think
it
so
has
too.
More of a Christmas message.
I think so too. And actually, while I was talking about that, have you seen the movie The Grinch? The Grinch Who Stole Christmas?
Which one? The old animated one, or the?
Well, both. That's true.
I don't think I've seen the Jim Carrey one. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah,
actually.
I think I saw it one time, but it just occurred to me now. It's like, oh, that's a classic story.
That is a classic Christmas story.
About this kind of essentially mean old man who's like tries to push everybody out and lives outside of town, but around Christmas time, like the community tries to bring him in and show him like appreciation and care, and eventually he, warms up to them and tries to kind of integrate into the community a bit. But that's another one that's sort of into that same theme that maybe we've been talking about, of people coming together around Christmas time every year.
That's true.
Very nice.
That's the Christmas message, I think.
I think so. I hope so. That's
Love
a nice
and community.
Indeed. Great. So that's all I have.
That's all I've got.
All right. So those are a few very famous, I think, American Christmas movies. If you haven't seen them, you should check them out. I think that they're actually some pretty good references, some cultural references, especially a movie like Die Hard. That is a hugely famous movie that lots of people reference. And Nightmare Before Christmas as well, I think, is also quite popular. So is Elf maybe too. But all of these really can give some interesting insights into American culture. And I mean, you can practice your English too, of course, and enjoy.
And there are a lot of Christmas movies that we didn't get to talk about today. So have a look around, explore, see what other Christmas movies that you can find.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and if there are any other Christmas movies, or if there are some famous holiday movies from your country that you enjoy and that you think are really famous or kind of represent holidays in your country, let us know in the comments section. So thanks very much for watching this episode of English Topics. If you liked the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, you can check us out at EnglishClass101.com for more good stuff. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!
It's a miracle.